we want to factor out the greatest common factor, but this time we want it to have a negative coefficient. So we have negative 5y cubed plus y to the 6th. All right, well, first let's find the GCF. The GCF, okay, remember that the variable with the lowest exponent goes into the GCF. Right here we have 5 and 1, so there's nothing in common there. So we don't even worry about these coefficients. So let's just look at, we have y cubed and y to the 6th, so it'll just be y cubed. But we want to have a negative coefficient on this thing. So let's just tack on a negative 1. Our coefficient will be negative 1, and I'll just write that as negative. So our GCF will then be negative y cubed. Okay, so now we can factor this out. So we have a negative y cubed in the front. What does that leave behind? That's the question. Remember, when we factor something out to the front, we're actually dividing each term in our original expression by whatever we factored out to the front. So we're dividing each of these by negative y cubed. Okay, well, negative 5y cubed divided by negative y cubed is going to leave us with positive 5. All right, and here we have positive divided by a negative, so minus, and then y to the 6th divided by y cubed is y to the 6th minus 3, y cubed. And you could just think of this as anytime you factor out, you subtract exponents. So you don't even have to do all this business of dividing it explicitly like this. Just think of it as subtracting exponents every time you factor out to the front. Now, an important point that'll make this easier. When you factor out a negative, you change the sign of all the terms in the original expression. So when factor out a negative, change the sign of all terms in the original expression. Okay, so look, our original expression had a negative here. That became a positive once we factored out the negative in front. This term was positive. It switched from positive to negative. Negative now. Okay, so negative became positive. Positive became negative. So that's the fast way to think of this. When you factor a negative term out to the front, you change the signs of all these terms in the original expression.